Hi there, year one. How are you today? Welcome to your science lesson this week. Okay, before we begin, I have a couple of questions. Now, you're not going to write this down, you're just going to chat to the person in the room or have a go at acting them out and see if you can remember and recall what parts of the body you're using. So, my first question is, what parts of the body would you use to run? My second question is, what parts of the body would you use to look out of the window? And my third question is, what parts of the body would you use to eat a sandwich? Pause the video here. Have a go answering those now. Welcome back. Did you have an idea? Fantastic. So to run, remember it isn't just your feet, it's your ankles, your knees, your whole legs, hips, your arms, and your body and your head. Your whole body is moving while running, isn't it? Now, to look out of the window, you will need to use your eyes, your head. You might need to use your neck as well to turn. You might need to use your body or your arms to lean on the side. And to eat a sandwich, you definitely need to use your hands to hold that delicious sandwich. You would need to use your mouth, your teeth, and your tongue to help you eat that. And then you would need to use your esophagus to help swallow your sandwich down into your tummy. Well done if you got those there. Okay, let's move on then today. So today we're going to be exploring the sense of smell. So last week we had a look at our sense of sight, and we had to look at using our eyes to see things, and you came up with some brilliant things in your house that you found. And we use our whole bodies to feel things, don't we? But especially our hands. That's like one of our main things. But we talked about our skin is an organ that feels all over. Okay. So today we're going to be exploring the sense of smell. Which part of the body would we use for this sense? Pause the video here. Have a quick think. Welcome back. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to put my papers down there. Okay then. Now, we use our noses, don't we? Well done. To smell things. And did you know that our noses can identify thousands and thousands of different smells? Our sense of smell is important for lots of different reasons. And one of these is that it can warn us of danger. So, for example, we'll often smell, oh, something burning, the smell of smoke before we actually see it. You know, sometimes when you put the toast in the toaster and you sit in the living room and you think, oh, the toast is burning. You can smell it before you can see it. Now, I've got some fun facts as well and some did you know things. Did you know that women have a stronger sense of smell than men? So the ladies, their sense of smell is stronger than a man's sense of smell. I didn't know that. What a cool fact to know. And also, we all develop our sense of smell before we're even born. Our sense of smell is the very first sense that we develop before our hearing, before our taste, before our sight, before our touch. Smell is the first sense that we develop. Okay. Now, our sense of smell can also tell us when something we're about to eat is going off or has gone off. So this stops us eating things that are bad for us. With these pictures here, you can actually see that the fruit is not good to eat. However, what about if you eat meat and you smell the meat? You know if it smells okay or, oh, I'm not going to eat that. And for example, milk as well. Have you ever opened the milk and thought, oh, that smells terrible. I'm not drinking that. You have. Oh, it's not very nice, is it at all? So our sense of smell can help us to identify things that potentially could be dangerous for us to consume. That means to eat. I've got some more did you know facts as well. And did you know, as you get older, your sense of smell becomes weaker. So as you get to through your different stages of life, your sense of smell won't be as strong as it is when you're younger. And did you know that some people cannot smell anything at all? They can't smell anything, and it's a condition that they have, and it's called anosmia. Okay, anosmia, and they can't smell anything. They just don't have a sense of smell. Mrs. Johnson has this too. When you see her again, you need to ask her about that. Okay. Now then, our sense of smell, let me move my video, or I'll leave it there actually. Our sense of smell helps us to taste food. So when we cannot smell properly, that impairs, that means it changes the way that we can taste our food because our nose and our mouth is connected. Did you know that? So here we can go round into our mouth. That is connected. So all the taste buds, when our nose is blocked, we cannot taste as well. So here I've got some people who are feeling a little bit poorly sick. You know, have you ever had a cold and you feel like all your nose is blocked and bunged up and you can't breathe through it? You can't taste a lot of things then, can you? So it makes everything taste very bland. That means it has no taste at all. You can't taste the sweet or the sour or the savoury. It doesn't taste very nice at all. Now, I have a couple of did you know facts as well. Did you know you soon stop noticing smells if you're around them for a long time? So, for example, if your mum wears some beautiful perfume and she wears it every single day, soon you'll stop noticing that she's got that perfume on because it's a smell that you're smelling quite regularly. But also, did you know that smells can also make you remember certain things? So, for example, whenever I smell cakes baking, it always reminds me of my grandma because she loved to bake cakes. Whenever I smell fresh coffee in the morning, it reminds me of my birthdays because I always used to have fresh coffee pots on my birthdays when I was a teenager. And also, whenever I smell beautiful lilies, that reminds me of my mum. So those smells remind me and make me remember certain events in my life. I wonder if there's any smells that you have that make you remember certain events in your life too. Could it be the smell of the sea when you went to the seaside? Could it be the smell of ice cream? Could it be the smell of apple juice? I'd like to find out. Let me know what your smell that makes you remember, that highlights your memory is. Okay. Now, also, another did you know, your smell is weaker in the morning and it becomes stronger as the day goes on. And you can't smell anything when you're asleep. When you're asleep, your nose still works, but you're not smelling anything. And that's why in the morning when you wake up, your sense of smell is not very strong. As the day goes on, it gets stronger. Now, what smells do you prefer? So I'm going to ask you some this or this questions in a minute. Do you prefer this smell or this smell? Okay. But before we do, I've got some fun facts I wanted to share with you. Here's my lovely elephant. I love elephants so much. They've got a very long nose, haven't they? So if they've got quite a long nose, I wonder if their sense of smell is good or not good. What do you think? Shall we find out? A really interesting fact about an elephant here. Elephants have a very strong sense of smell. Did you know that they can smell water from 12 miles away? That's like from where we are in Erdington, all the way past the city centre and to the other side of the city centre to South Birmingham. That's really far away. They can smell where the water is that far away. That's really far, isn't it? It must be because they have all of these amazing senses and these receptors in their trunk that can sniff out that water. What a fabulous fact. And did you know that snakes, they have a strong sense of smell, but they don't use noses. They use their tongue to smell things. So you know when a snake flicks out its tongue and it's flicking everywhere like this? That's how a snake smells. It doesn't have a nose. It uses its tongue to smell all of those interesting things around it. How fabulous is that? We don't use our tongue to smell, do we? Because we have a nose. We use our tongue to taste, whereas a snake uses his tongue to smell. And this is a moth here. Okay, got a fact about a moth as well. Moths have the best sense of smell out of all of the insects. They can smell their mate from 6 miles away. That is like going all the way into town, into the city centre. That's how far away they can smell. How amazing is that? And also, did you know that bears have a very good sense of smell as well? And that's why often in America, where people are camping, they're told to really put their food away because bears who are in the woods can smell their food and will come roaming into the campsites to sniff out their delicious food to eat. So they can smell food from quite far away. But how interesting are those facts there? So, what smells do you prefer? Are you ready? Okay. Do you prefer roses or chocolate? Which one? For me, I think it has to be chocolate. I love the smell of chocolate. Oh, if you've ever been to Cadbury World, they have the smell of chocolate everywhere there because they're making all the different types of chocolate. I just love that smell. Okay, you ready for another one? Which smell do you prefer? The smell of cut grass or the smell of bread baking? Do you prefer that fresh, springy smell when all the grass has been cut outside? Or do you prefer the smell of bread baking in the oven? I think for me, this is such a tricky one. I think I'm going to go grass because it reminds me of spring and lovely warm days. That's what that smell reminds me of. I also like that smell, you know, when it rains and it's quite warm and you have that lovely pavementy type smell. I love that smell too. That reminds me of summer. Okay, which smell do you prefer? Fish or the smell of a wet dog? Now, if you haven't smelled a wet dog before, imagine a really damp towel that you've used to dry yourself and you've left it in a heap on the floor and it's a bit stinky when you get it up. Which would you prefer? I think for me on this one, be the fish. Don't think I like the smell of wet dogs. Okay, which do you prefer? Bonfires or oranges? Really? Oh, do you know, for me, definitely oranges. I love that fresh, juicy smell. Fantastic. Okay, it's activity time now. What I'd like you to do is you have got your worksheet here to complete. Now, you will need to go back through the video because I have given you some did you know boxes and fun fact boxes which will help you answer these questions. Then at the bottom, I want you to think about what your favourite smells are and maybe tell me why you like them. So today it's all about using our nose to smell things and to find out some interesting facts about how our nose works and who can smell better, men or women. How long we have our sense of smell for. Do we have it after we're born or before? And does our sense of smell get weaker as we get older or does it get stronger? Have lots of fun today finding out about smelling things. Enjoy that year one and you take care and I shall see you very soon. Bye now.